Welcome to Prenatal Yoga. I'm Bonnie Golden, teaching from TMC's The Core La Cantata, and I'm excited to offer a practice of prenatal yoga that's different, that my students over the years have absolutely loved for all kinds of reasons. And it's using a chair as a prop. So I have a chair here. You want to make sure the chair that you grab is not on wheels or is on a stable surface. You could also use just an armchair that's nearby you. We'll use the chair because it's a way to, if you're feeling heavy, say you're carrying heavy, feeling a lot of strain or heaviness in your pelvis, if maybe you're carrying twins, if you're close to giving birth, or you're just having a day where you don't even want to get down on the floor. I think this is a way to what we often call shape shift, and finding different shapes and different orientations to gravity will really help you in your stability and, most importantly, your flexibility, your juiciness in pregnancy. So let's start in mountain pose. And in mountain pose, your feet are going to be hip joint distance apart. Put a little bit more weight on your heels, and then put a little weight on the base of your big toe and your little toe. So you don't want to just not be connected to Mother Earth. Press into the earth and rise up. Feel your feet on the ground. Bring your arms to your side. As I said, a little more weight in the heels. Inhale your arms up. Exhale your arms down. Let's do about 3 or 4 of those. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do a couple more. Just to get breath and movement going, making room for the breath, letting it travel throughout your system. And actually, let's add one more for good measure. Inhale, let the arms come up, and then interlace your fingers. So you're pointing the pointer to the sky. Keep that weight on your heel and the base of big toe and little toe, moving up and over. Breathing in and breathing out in the crescent moon. As always, keep water nearby. Inhale, lengthen, up and over to the second side. Stay hydrated. Use the bathroom whenever you need to. Inhale, exhale, relax your arms down. Beautiful. Turn your toes out. Bring your hands to your thighs, your quads. We're just going to move smoothly left and right. And find some spaciousness in the lower back. And then you can feel as if opposite shoulders going to opposite knee. And then stay. And enjoy that lengthening. So we want to, in prenatal yoga, shape shift. Find all kinds of shapes so that you feel more comfortable, so that you're not stiff. We're going to do cat-cow in this position. So round the back. Bring the heart forward. And that when you're ready to give birth, that you're able to go into those shapes because your body and your mind has become calm and ready from prenatal yoga. So going sideways, I'll show you what's going on. Lengthening, rounding. Yeah, so kind of a squatting cat-cow. Good. And then making your way up. Bring your feet a little wider than hips distance and consider that pelvic clock. So I like to think about the numbers on the clock and that we're getting some different shapes in our pelvis. Those of you who were here last week or watched the recording of last week's class, I brought in a model of the pelvis. You can check it out on YouTube. And we had a lot more awareness there, but we're not letting that behind. Bring the hips left and right. So if you stay in one shape all day, or very few shapes, you might feel a little bit stiff. So kind of letting it go. here. Bring the arms out to the side. We're in star pose. Heel toe your feet as wide as is comfortable for you. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to rotate the shoulders. One shoulder, all the way up the shoulder, not just the hand, rotates in, and then the other shoulder rotates in. So just, embracing this idea of juicy shoulders, juicy hips. Of course, our shape is shifting forward, right? As the baby grows, as the chest grows, everything comes forward. So we get a little tight trying to keep things in that balance. So keep going a few more times. Make it yours. You can really get into it. We're not twisting the belly. We're just letting the shoulder joints. So simple. It's really so profound. Good. And then inhale, exhale, release. Bring your legs in, coming back to mountain pose. So come to the chair or whatever you're using as a chair, your couch, whatever it is. And we're going to stand in front of the seat of the chair and bring your hands in front of your heart. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive, let your hips go back behind you and bring your hands to the chair about shoulder distance apart, having your wrists supported. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and step the right foot back and the left foot forward. And you can kind of bring the back heel up and down. So we're in a lunge, shrug the shoulders away from your ears. And feel that deep hip flexor muscle, getting some lengthening, some stretch. Shape shift your hips left and right. Kind of play with that. Heel toe your front foot wider if it feels more comfortable. Press into the chair. Breathe. And then we're going to walk both feet back to what I call a chair dog. So bend your knees, walk your feet as wide as your mat, and then let your hips go back behind you. Shake out your head if you want. So the knees bent will help kind of take it out of the hamstrings and find space in the spine. Feel your pelvic floor is open, breathing, breathing. And go ahead and walk your right foot forward to a lunge. So now the left foot is back, the right foot is forward. This is what we call a mini sun salutation. So, let's honor the fact that you're pregnant and we're not going to do heating sun salutations necessarily. If you're doing those and you feel okay, fine. But I think there's a myth about we need to be doing what we were doing before pregnant, that we are honoring this time. So I'm doing this lunging. By adjusting our practice, still getting the breath, still getting different shapes. Pause there, feel that lunge. Bring the back leg to meet the front leg, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. And inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Chair salutation. Stand for a moment. Notice the vitality. Notice that your inner self, your breath, your body, your tissues is feeling more alive as we go into the second round of honoring our body through chair salutation. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Press into your feet, lengthen your fingertips to the sky. Breathing. Inhale, exhale, let your hips come back like a swan dive. Bring the wrist and the palms to the chair. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Feet can be as wide as your hips or even wider. So right here, you can get some more length in the pelvis. Bring the right leg back to a lunge. Now you can keep your toes on the floor and lift your heel. And what we want is to feel here, I'll just go this way so you see, here in the deep hip flexor, some spaciousness. Shoulders relaxed, press into all 10 fingers. Take weight off your wrists. And then walk the front foot back. Again, share dog. Make it yours. Heel toe your feet wide as the mat. Feels so good. So it's like your arms are stretched over your head. You're helping to make room for the breath. You're having that beautiful spaciousness in the pelvis. And then bring the right foot forward to that lunge. And shift around. Really honor what you're feeling in your body. You know best where the foot should be, how the shoulders can be placed. Really trust your own body, your own breath, your own experience. And have fun with this different way of doing the practice today. Bring the back foot forward. Press into the feet strongly. Bend your knees as much as you want it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands in front of your heart. Pause for a moment and feel as if you made more room. And of course, prenatal yoga is about making space, shifting the shapes, feeling strong and feeling flexible. Good. So facing the chair again, going to bring our feet wide open, wider than your hip joints. Okay, so this is hip joint distance. We want to go wider than the hip joints and face the chair again. Feel the base of your big toe, the base of your little toe and your heel connected to Mother Earth. And then bring hands to the top of the pelvis, tilt the pelvis, nice long straight spine, and bring your hands to the chair. So similar to dog, but we've got a wide stance. Feel free to heel toe your feet wider and bend your elbows if you want and start to note that you're shifting some shapes, some connection, some muscular energy here in the glutes. Breathing in, breathing out. And then let's slide and glide left and right. Getting some motion now into another place in the legs, the adductors, the inner thighs. So I'm just shifting. I'll turn this way so you see what it looks like. I'm shifting like this, but using the chair for support. And one thing you want to get used to is asking for support. Going left and right. Good. Come to center. Shrug the shoulders away. Bring your left hand underneath your face here on the chair. Sweep the right arm open the chest, root down, rise up. Breathing, breathing. Pardon me. Inhale, exhale. Second side, opening. Keep your hand, your fingertips in your line of vision. Let's do one more, please, on each side. Breathing, breathing. And you know, if you're feeling good, you're transmitting to your baby. The yoga feels good. This movement feels good. Breathing, breathing. Heel toe your feet in. Bend your knees. Bring hands to the pelvis. Hinge back up. And I'll face forward. Roll out your shoulders. Take mountain pose with arms above the head. Palms are facing in, sometimes called volcano pose. We sometimes discuss also heartburn, indigestion, and this physically lengthening to the sky, making space can help. And sweep your arms down. Once again, we're going to play with the chair as a prop, the chair as a fun way to do a practice, the chair to shift shapes. So front heel is aligned with the back heel. This is a familiar shape. I'm going to bring the chair a little closer. Let's take the first tilt, like I'm a little teapot tilt, and bring your fingertips to the chair. So you don't want to be reaching way far forward. They're maybe a little bit forward of your shoulder joint as you open the chest. And then bring the top arm up. So again, reaching way down when you might be feeling heavy, when maybe you've been working or having a lot of Zoom meetings and you need to get up. You don't want to roll out the mat. Do some of these chair shapes for you and for your baby. Breathe in and out. Inhale, exhale, let the back of the body bring you up. We'll take to reverse triangle. So the front arm comes up. You can look at your fingertips. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. Relax that arm down. Beautiful. So I'm going to shift the chair and we'll do the second side. First of all, find your alignment of your feet, front heel to back heel. And that again keeps the pelvis. Take the first shape and just test. If you need to move the chair forward or back, do so. So going into triangle pose, sideways, fingertips on the chair, root into the feet, bring top arm up. If you have shoulder restrictions, keep the arm at the waist, look forward or up. Breathe in, breathe out. And by the way, you can hold baby from the outside. And feel the opening. And also in these standing poses, we're still getting the strength of the legs. We're still opening our chest, our lungs for the breath. Inhale, exhale, back of the body brings you up. And we're taking reverse triangle pose. Breathing in and out. Feel kind of that exhaustion, that kind of, here I am. This is a very special time, a temporary time. So I like to say 2 hearts beating in one space. Inhale, exhale, release. So we're going to come to the first side. I'm going to show you 2 versions of doing the familiar warrior pose. Of course, this is the version heel to heel with the front knee bent, and we do it like this. So showing this, you can do it that way. I want to show you a second variation where again, you're carrying twins, you're feeling heavy, you're 38 weeks, but all you want to still sit. You'll come to the edge of your chair. Come to the same position of the legs as if standing, but now our hips are supported. So either version, bring hands to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do 3 more. So the breath is everything. It is everything. It calms the mind. It calms the body. Last one. Warrior 2, I'm in chair version, yogini's choice, seated or standing. Breathing in, breathing out. Relax, arms down. So you can come, if you're still standing, to this version of side angle, or you can stay seated, the same pose we've done many times. Open the shoulder, or you've probably done many times. Press into your feet, let the top arm come up. Look forward or up. Nice hip opener, again, shape shifter, shape changer. Optional, turn the top shoulder in, rotate it in so your palm is facing the earth, and bring the shape alongside your ear. That's totally optional. Inhale, exhale. Release. Help your leg in if you're seated. If you're standing, we'll just bring the toes forward and then turn to the second side. So going to the same place, either seated or standing. It's the same shape, but we're getting a little more support as an option here. Hands in front of the heart. Remember this practice at around 37 weeks and you're feeling like, oh, I need to breathe. Here's a way to do this. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. 2 more, please. Beautiful. Last one. Warrior 2. Shoulders soften. Press into the base of the front foot. Big toe, little toe, heel. Feel that connectiveness, that domino effect up the legs, up the body when we pay attention to our feet. And relax your arms down. Side angle pose again. If you're standing, it looks like this. If you're seated, it looks the same, but the hips are supported. Let the top arm come up. Look forward or up. And root to rise. Breathe in, breathe out. Excellent. Inhale, exhale. Go ahead and release. Help your legs in or bring them into the center. Either standing in mountain, if you're still standing. We're all going to meet seated. So whatever chair or couch, whatever you have, come to sit on that. Come a little forward and feel your ribs over your pelvis. I'm going to go sideways. So this is not ribs over the pelvis. We're sitting on the tailbone. What you want to do is really feel your pelvis come to a more neutral space so that you can feel your ribs right over the pelvis. And let's take a 2 or 3 breaths here. Feel your brain over your heart over your pelvis. Bring your hands to your baby's dwelling place and breathe down for a couple breaths. Down and kiss your baby with your breath. Expand. Expand front and side and back. So in fact, bring your hands to your sides. Feel the expansion. Inhale. And exhale. There's a contraction. You're hugging your baby. 2 more. Jaw relaxed. Beautiful. Let's take a couple ankle circles here. So again, we want to get the circulation going. Prevent that swollen feet and cramps. Take a few ankle circles. Good. Something you can do anytime. We'll take the right leg in and rotate from the hip and bring the right ankle above the left knee. Now pay attention to your bottom foot. Make sure it's not kind of in a crooked place. Maintain its own mountain shape. Shift your hips a little bit. Relax your shoulders. Bring this right hand to the top of the thigh and lead forward with the heart. About 50%, so don't go dipping all the way in. Keep your back straight. When you should hopefully feel a nice opening in those hip rotators. Inhale, lengthen up again. Exhale, lead with the heart. Maybe eke out a little bit more space. Feel this, that lengthening again in the back of the glutes. Shifting the shape, moving the tissues around. Feel free to wriggle around. And go ahead and rise up. Unwind, sit for just a moment before we go to the second side. And do you notice if you have a little more contact on the right side of your body with the seat of the chair you're on? You know you've opened the tissues a bit more. You've lengthened them, made them a little more juicy. So other side, they'll be different. Bring the knee toward the chest. Help your foot. Connect that bottom foot, solid lead to Mother Earth and lead with heart. Go about 50% and pause there. Let the stretch come to you. So we want to make a lot of balance in the muscles around your pelvis. We don't want them to be so strong and pumped up that when it's time to give birth, they don't know how to let go. We want strength. We want the feeling of being, or the ability to open up. And we want you to know what that feels like. So come up a little now. And then lead with your heart. Lengthen the spine. And maybe eke out a little bit more opening in the back of the hip. Breathing in. Breathing out. Excellent. Beautiful. And inhale, exhale, release. Let the leg come down. And we're going to interlace our fingers, stretch the knuckles and palms forward. And from the seat of your chair, from the root of your feet, rise up, find that space. Make space for baby. Make space for your breath. So again, just this stretch, when you're in a seated position, a lot of hours of the day can really help. And beautiful, inhale, exhale, release. Going to make our way to the floor, to seated. We'll probably, if we have a chance, we'll use the chair for one more position. So if you have it, keep it nearby. You can come down to the floor with staggered legs, bring one knee down, then the other. Grab your blanket. Take a drink of water if you want to. And once again, let's come to this shape and rotating the ankles. So remember that cue, the ribs over the pelvis actually help remind us to make our spine or feel our spine, turn the toes the other way. Go in and forward and up. Beautiful. Good. Excellent. So the next shape is to the familiar table pose, all fours. Just move this a little further back. And if you're not on a soft place, bring a blanket, not too thick, just enough to pad your knees, underneath your knees. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Look at your fingers on the mat, and can you see the mat between each of your fingers? So spread them comfortably. Press into the 10 fingertips. Bring your chest away from the mat. So you really feel those muscles in the back of the shoulders engaged. Curl the toes under, widen your knees, and slide your hips back again toward your heels. And then bring your hands forward. A little bit of stretch here in that hip flexor. So be careful to, or be aware of not letting your belly sag, but using the muscles, go back and forth. This should feel really good now. Breathing, breathing. Feel the motion of the pelvis. Good. And then coming back up, taking those hip circles. So maybe a mantra, a memory, an imprint could be shift my shape. Shift my shape. And that's what yoga helps us do. In labor, there's a piece of advice, if you're able to, is to change your position every 15 minutes. So, and that can help coax the baby down. So we're doing hip circles, and then coming back to table pose, left hand on the ground, right arm up, opening the chest. Breathing, breathing. And second side. Opening the chest. And inhale, exhale, release. Back to the first side. Let the right arm come up. And then we'll thread the needle into this little pocket underneath the left hand. Let your hips go back. You can curl your toes under. And if you need a padding, I'm going to grab a block. If you need something to bring your head or to support your head, you can go with this shape and just get a nice opening in the back of the shoulders. Again, move your hips a bit. You may not need something under your head. Oh. Come on out. Shake it out. And we'll go to the second side. So I just brought the floor for my head. Inhale. And then thread the needle. So you could put your head on a block or a pillow. If that bothers you, then if your head can come to the floor, it doesn't matter where your bum is. You just want that opening in the upper back. Breathing, breathing. Make it work for you. And inhale, exhale, release. Come to a kneeling shape. You could sit on the block, have it between your feet, if that's more comfortable for your knees. Okay, so whatever, you can grab a blanket and sit on that. And bring weight a little more onto your heels. Open arms, open chest. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together. Squeezing out stress. And then give yourself a little hug. And then open up. Inhale. Give yourself a little hug. One more time each side. Again, we want to find space for the breath. Calms us down. One more time. And on this last one, stay here. Pat yourself on the back. If you can bring your arms like this. Elbows come up. And optional is to join the hands in this seated eagle. So you can keep the hands like that, keep the hug, or join the hands. Don't force anything. Feel like you're looking right at your forearms. Breathe, feel your spine move in, forward, and up. Imagine that inner lift of your spine. Gaze up, let your arms come up. And back to neutral. Unwind, memorize the arm that was on top. And give yourself that hug. And then you know where we're going. Work with this on your own. You can keep your arms here. You can join the hands without forcing anything. Take, wherever you are, take the elbows up and forwards. You feel nice spaciousness in your upper back. And lift, gazing forward or up. And inhale, exhale, release. Let's come to a seated position with the soles of your feet together. Sit on your blanket. So another thing to pay attention to, we talked about in a previous session, last week's, I think, is to sit high enough so your knees aren't up, way up above here, the hip crease. So I'm going to show that one thing you can do is stack your blanket or have even two blankets or a bigger pillow. So that's a lot more comfortable. Feet together, come forward. Look at your feet, even them out. And once again, you'll feel that opening, lengthening, and the tissues around the pelvic floor, the inner thighs. Good old butterfly. Breathing in, breathing out. Fill your back with your breath. Fill your sides with your breath. Surround your baby with the life force. And making your way up. We'll lengthen the left leg out. Toes face to the sky. The right heel is around the perineum. Open the chest, open the heart. Walk the fingertips toward that outstretched leg. Doesn't have to be a big movement. Sweep the right arm in front of your ear and take another nice side bend. Again, adjusting for yourself. Where am I getting the most pleasure from the stretch? What can I do to make it my own? And sweep the arm in front of you, making your way back up. Bringing the soles of the feet together. One more time, lengthening forward. Noticing the difference. And coming up to side two. So that outstretched leg, your right leg has toes facing the sky. Adjust, modify for your hips, for your body. Open the chest, open the heart. And if you want, sweep the arm alongside the ear. Breathing in, breathing out. Making space for this little being that's growing inside of you, making space physically, mentally, for your breath, and for this new way of being that's soon to be coming your way. So I want to offer you another shape with chair. And it's basically a pose that we did earlier, where your legs are outstretched. Toes are facing the sky, still sitting on blankets. And stack your arms and come forward, and you'll sense, for sure, a stretch in the hamstrings. Now, options: bring your legs not so wide, bend your knees a little bit. We're just going to be here for about 5 breaths to feel that restfulness of this modified forward fold. Baby's right here, of course, and a nice lengthening in your hamstrings. So can you focus your mind on your breath? And can you start to let each exhale be a little bit longer than the inhale, which will bring your nervous system into calm. Let each exhale be a letting go. Remember, you feel free to adjust your legs, honor what your body wants, bending the knees a little, bringing the legs closer, but remember to breathe out a nice long exhale and a very nourishing inhale. Three more breaths. And even though your minds might be thinking about all kinds of things that have nothing to do with the present, your body is receiving the shape. Your nervous system is calming down. And we'll come out slowly, not quickly. Come out slowly. Let your tissues adjust. And notice the sense of calm that was created I'm just going into that supported forward fold. Go ahead and help your legs in. We're going to come to a sideline Shavasana for about 2 or 3 minutes. So you can come to left side. You can put a blanket between your knees or a block between your knees and your ankles. So remember, you want support between the legs, making a little space there. So fluff up your pillow. You deserve this. Don't skip this part. It's important. Fluff up your pillow. Get comfortable. Notice your knees. Make sure you're not curling into a fetal position. Observe any sounds in the environment, inside or outside of your home or office, wherever you're practicing. Observe the feeling of the air on your skin. And where your clothing touches your skin. Do you detect any aromas? Is your baby moving inside of you? Can you feel your skin? The skin of your feet. Maybe there's some tingling in your feet from the practice. Is there any place in your legs that might feel a little uncomfortable? Or maybe now they feel relaxed. Whatever it is, observe it. So you can fine-tune what it is that you want and what you need and what you're enjoying and honoring from your practice. The touch of your breath around your baby, your belly, your ribs. Feel the wave-like liquidity of your breath. Shoulders, neck, jaw, particularly the jaw, the tongue, are soft. Everything has let go from whatever came before this day, this practice. If your hand or hands aren't on your belly where baby dwells, feel free to put them there. You should feel your breath and your love connect internally. And knowing the practice is for your benefit and the benefit of your baby. You may stay where you are for as long as you want. And when you're ready to come out, move mindfully, use your arm strength to push up Feels if head is coming up last. Thank you so much for the privilege of guiding you in your practices, everybody. Have a beautiful week. Thank you. Should I click end? Okay. No one stayed today, so that's.
We didn't.
No. I think it's.